into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you. In the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you. gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the latest Elite FPL podcast with myself, Stevo. I can only apologise for basically saying that I'll be doing a stream at 10, then it was 9, then I tweeted out this morning it'll be 8, and now I'm going live at 7. Simply put, I'm trying to take advantage of the fact that I can do this stream in the front room, and I'm hoping that I'll have a good connection is the word I'm looking for. So yeah, that little boring bit out of the way. Welcome everybody, good morning. Can everybody let me know how loud I am, because I'm a bit concerned about how loud my mic was on Saturday when I was going into meltdown mode. It sounded atrocious, and I'm hoping that today I'm speaking a bit quieter, a lot quieter, and I'm hoping that it sounds okay. So please just let me know in chat how it is all sounding. It's really quiet for everybody else. Okay, I will happily turn up the sound on my microphone. Like I said, I'm kind of whispering at the moment, so I'll just turn up the sound a bit. Like I said, I want to I can't talk loudly because my housemate is over there, whatever, and yeah, I can't be disturbing them. So yes, here we go. Let's talk all things fantasy football. Well, of course, last night, if you joined us live with myself and Jason, we were live through the Wolves Man United game that ended basically 1-1. It's Geordie Kev basically saying it's low because you're whispering. Yes, unfortunately I can't speak at a normal level, but whatever. Yeah, ended 1-1 to United. It sounded like an absolutely atrocious game. It was as we mentioned last night, it wasn't really much of an emotional roller coaster. It was more of a roller coaster discussing Jason's potential wild card. He isn't going to do it. He ain't going to do his wild card. I can't see it happening myself. That was the main talking point last night, and we are going to be talking about wild cards today. It's approaching game week 3. I believe that Andy9098, aka Resi Dezzle, he put up some stat, or was it FPL Defender? Either way, it was either FPL Defender or Andy. They put up some stat that in our mini league that 11 people have already wildcarded. I don't know if that meant specifically for game week 2, or it meant for upcoming game week 3. I think it was for game week 2. Either way, 11 people out of the 88 in our cash mini league have already wildcarded. The people that are top of our mini league at the moment, which is up on screen right now. So Ian Rose, he's already used a bench boost and a wild card. So advantage to quite a lot of rivals in this particular mini league, and we are going to be reflecting and reviewing the cash mini league. Now it's all set after game week 2. We've had some movers and shakers. Notably, Jason is now not in the top 4. He's now dropped down to 5th. Or as of last night, he's dropped down to 5th, but it's so tight. It's only 15 points between himself and Ian Rose. So yeah, a few topics that I want to be covering today. Basically, what are your thoughts on the wildcard? What did you think of last night's game? Are Man United assets worth jumping on at the end of the day? Jason was banging on about Martial, Rashford, David De Gea. After last night's game, I think it's really looking at Martial and people that have already got him. Well done to you, already ahead of the curve, and people that are getting him in. Well done, you're going to catch his price rise. Have you already made some transfers? I've already revealed that I've already made 2 free transfers. I'm not going to reveal who I've done until Thursday, but I am potentially considering, if you didn't watch last night or seen on the replay, admittedly, we only stopped recording about 8 hours ago, but yeah, I'm potentially going to do a -8. It's unlikely, in fact, it's very unlikely I'm even going to take a -4, but you never know. And simply put, I'm asking you guys, have you already wildcarded? What transfers have you done if you're willing to reveal? As ever, if you want to come live on air, simply get into the Discord waiting room and I will bring you on to discuss all things Game Week 2 and moving forward into Game Week 3. But as ever, let's do the old Jason. Let's see who's in chat. Let's get chatting and away we go. Again, can people let me know how loud or how quiet I am regarding the mic audio? Like I said, I can't be too loud. So yeah, let's get on with it. So good morning to Simon Bellamy, first in chat. A very good friend of mine, doing absolutely exceedingly well. He's 154th in the world. And you know what? Because I'm going to bring up Simon's team. So this is going to be Si's team, everybody. He's 154th in the world. It is absolutely absurd. Well done to you. Here's his team up on screen now. He got 93 points this game week. 93 points. He, of course, brought in Pookie. He captained, not only did he bring him in, he captained him. So congratulations there. And I'll tell you what, the team is looking absolutely fantastic moving forward. We've got the power 3 midfielders, Sterling, Salah, De Bruyne. A bit dodgy with the Liverpool defence, but I don't think that really matters, of course. Very, 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 very lucky. For those of you that don't know, Simon had Lundstrom coming off the bench because Barkley, just here, he didn't play a single minute. So Lundstrom, with that whopping 14 points, came off the bench. But again, when you've got a strong bench, this is what can happen. And yeah, Lundstrom coming off the bench. Of course, like I said, a couple of, as we say, fires in the team with Wesley and one of Van Dijk and Alexander-Arnold. I don't think Liverpool defence are worth investing in. Like I've just mentioned there, Barkley, somebody else. Fredericks. I don't know why Danny Drinkwater's red flagged. What's going on here? Oh, lack of match fitness. I don't know why you'd red flag him for. Pity say it's not an injury. Get a grip, FPL. But yeah, congratulations, Simon. Oh, sorry. He's 153rd. Wow, okay. Is that right? Yeah. 153rd in the world. So well done to you, Si, and I'll keep your team up for a few seconds to people to absorb that particular team there. Yeah, I don't think Simon's going to be wildcarding whatsoever there. As you can see with me, it's just all red arrows. But I still had a decent game week, I think. We'll just quickly bring up my team for a second. I still feel I had a decent game week. I got above the average score of 41 points. I got 46 in total. There's my team there. Like I said, I've already made 2 transfers. I mean, Lundstrom on the bench there. I mean, there's nothing I could do about that. At the end of the day, I chose Perez. After all, despite wanting to originally play Lundstrom in a 4-4-2, it doesn't matter now. But yeah, I'm relatively happy with my team, especially now moving forward. Moving on to... Do you know what I hate about laptops? Is they're so sensitive. Christ's sake. Anyway, let's get into the chat again, and let's start looking over the people that are joining us for this early morning stream as ever. Can only apologise for people that were thinking that I was going to be going live at 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning UK time. To be honest with you, like I said, I'm trying to take advantage of the fact that I can use the front room. So let's get on with it. Like I said, Simon Bellamy, good morning to you. G-Wiz causing some controversy last night. There was a bit of this was good. This was really good listening, actually. G-Wiz got under Jason's skin a bit last night regarding the VAR decision, regarding Pogba's penalty last night. Was it a dive? Was it not? Jason arguing the case that at the end of the day, these are the rules. It's a clear and obvious error. And that's what the ruling is these days. G-Wiz not happy with the fact that these decisions are being made, but it's trying to make VAR as simple as possible for these referees. But yeah, check out that little argument. If you want to know specifically, it's about 1 hour 34 minutes into the stream. That's when the penalty takes place for Man United there. Talking to G-Wiz, good morning to you there. Trey Stewart, how do I get live on air? Simply go into the Discord if you're part of it. Phil Potter, good morning Phil. You'll be pleased to know that Firmino's history versus Arsenal, a player that you own, is got a very good history indeed. Of course, there is Statman there. Good morning to Kev, all the way in New Zealand. Of course, it's not morning there; it's the evening. This is why we do why we do these morning streams. It's because we're dedicating this to our Australian and New Zealand followers, and of course various other countries. And I apologise that I don't know every single country that's at the evening at the moment, but for the Australian New Zealand fans, my geography lessons have taught me that you're way ahead of us. Super Coach Daisy, morning Steve. Yes, good morning there, Keyboy. Yes, good morning to Keyboy there. I noticed that you enjoyed the tweet that I put out. Yes, I did clip. I know Davey P, he asked me to clip Jason's reaction to when when Wolves scored and Aaron Wan-Bissaka lost his clean sheet. If you want to go and see it, it's at Elite FPL on Twitter. So on Twitter, at Elite FPL, go and see Jason's reaction to when Wolves go and score and Aaron Wan-Bissaka loses out on his clean sheet. The reaction from G-Wiz is just fantastic alone. Really adds to the drama of I say drama of last night. There was no drama at all. Terrible game. Aussie Boy, good morning to you. I'm sure you're going to be coming live on the Discord in a minute. We got Ray Joyce. Good morning, Ray Joyce. Yeah, gutted. I can't believe Rashford didn't take that penalty. Damn Pogba. Well, there was a discussion between FPL Boona and Dan last night that maybe that's potentially there could be if you get fouled in the box, you take the penalty, because Rashford got fouled last week and took the penalty yesterday. Pogba got fouled, took the penalty, so maybe there's a bit of an understanding there between Solskjaer and his team that if you get fouled in the box, you're the one that take the penalty. But as Jason made the very simple point, but what if Luke Shaw was to get fouled? Will he really take the penalty? Exactly. Squally D, good morning to you there. Block FPL, it's 2 a.m. here, but I can't sleep, so I may as well join in the stream. Yeah, absolutely. If you want to join in the Discord block and we'll get you live on air. I know it's 2 a.m. in the morning, but if you're willing to talk about your team, I did mention you last night. Not in a negative way, it was more about the fact that people at the moment are, the hot topic at the moment is Wildcard. People are going into panic mode. When Jason mentioned it last night that he's potentially could be wildcarding. Again, he won't. People like myself are like, get out of here, shut up, you're having a fantastic start to the season. Well, you block, you ended up 50th last season, haven't started that great this year. But wouldn't mind hearing your thoughts live on air regarding your team, because like I said last night, your team is actually somebody that should be wildcarding in my opinion. Gotham, good afternoon, good morning to you, whatever time of the day it is in there. Thank you. One of our moderators in the Discord. Arafat, good morning to you as well. Gabrielle, of course, there last night too. Good morning to you. There's lots and lots of people there. I can only say thank you for joining me on this early morning stream. It's absolutely fantastic. Like I said, it's all for the our continental friends that can't participate in the evening show, so may as well get them on now. Mitch Acho, he's resisting the urge to wildcard. Yeah. I'm perfectly happy. I'm perfectly happy with my team. I don't need to wildcard whatsoever. And there are many, many more of you joining us live on this early morning stream or whatever time of the morning it is for you guys. I mean, Bobby straight away asking me, morning Steve-O, who would you say is the best asset from Man United? Is it Rashford or Martial? It's got to be Martial. I think that Martial, because he's playing out of position at the end of the day. Martial is... sorry, I've just been taken away from there. Martial, I think, because of his out of position and things. So like I said, today we are reflecting on the Kashmiri League right now. And in fact, GW2 is bringing up right now a very important piece of information. I am going to read it out for anybody that does use the Fantasy Football app. Please do not make any transfers on it, because there is a bug and it is telling you that basically you haven't made any transfers, and in reality you've made 4 or 5, maybe 6, and it's costing you up to 16-20 points. So please do not use the FPL app, because there is a bug in it. One of our good friends, contributors to the show, Little Saints, Jason out in Cyprus, he unfortunately has used the app and he's taken, I think, a -12 or something, and he's already emailed the FPL Towers, and I suggest that everybody that is seriously concerned by this, email FPL Towers, and I'm sure they will get onto it, and they will probably reimburse your transfers. Don't quote me on that, but they're normally pretty good at getting back to us regarding issues like this. So yes, let's reflect over on game week 2, shall we? And let's see what happened quickly. We'll bring up the weekend's fixtures, of course. We kicked off with Arsenal, of course. Arsenal versus Burnley, ending 2-1 in a tightish game. It wasn't. My basic understanding is at the end of the day we just ran out of legs and got a bit tired. And simply put, Arsenal took advantage, basically. So, of course, Aubameyang, a very, very popular captaincy pick, especially with the Kane Aubameyang hokey cokey, getting the goal. Lacazette and Ashley Barnes, McNeil and Ceballos with the assist there. The bonus points were for Ceballos getting 3, Lacazette 2, and Aubameyang with the 1. Moving on to Aston Villa versus Bournemouth. Ended 2-1 to Bournemouth. Josh King and Harry Wilson. That's Harry Wilson. I was caught out by that, thinking it was Callum. It wasn't, it was Harry. But Callum did get an assist when he was fouled for Josh King to take the penalty. And of course, Aston Villa with a reply with Douglas Luiz and Grealish. And the bonus points going to El Mohammadi, Douglas Luiz and Wilson and Grealish getting 1 each. Brighton onto versus West Ham, ending 1-1. I would say it's a disappointing result for West Ham, in my opinion. I think that a team like West Ham should be beating teams like Brighton, but I think that a result like this for Brighton, from an FPL perspective, should make you think about potentially getting Brighton assets. Trossard, who scored the goal, of course. Maybe Montoya, there's been talk about him playing out of position on the right hand side of the midfield in a 3-4-3. Maybe getting him. Maybe Matt Ryan, of course, getting the bonus points the other day. But for West Ham, Chicharito and Lanzini. Lanzini apparently looking very, very good as well. The bonus points, Lanzini with 3, Chicharito with 2, and Dunk and Gross with 1 apiece. Moving on to Everton. Everton, the clean sheet heroes. Can't seem to score, but can definitely keep you a clean sheet. That's one thing you're guaranteed. Winning 1-0 against Watford. Bernard with the goal and Digne with the assist. A bonus for Bernard 3, Digne 2 and Mina with the 1. Now, onto the hashtag Pookie Party. And of course, if anybody hasn't seen it, I highly recommend you watch Jason's little edited video regarding my meltdown regarding his transfer. A bit of a misunderstanding, it doesn't matter. It's a very, very funny video. I suggest you go onto our YouTube channel, but I'm sure most of you have seen it anyway. But if you haven't and you're new to the stream, just simply check out over on our YouTube channel the quick minute video or 2 minute video, whatever it is, of what Jason edited together regarding my rant or my disgust with Jason's Pookie transfer. But anyhow, he brought him in. He returned with a hat-trick, of course. Many people like Cy Bellamy there. I know his brother Dale. Hello Dale, by the way. He of course both captained Pookie. Pookie getting the 3, like I said. Cantwell, 4.5, playing midfielder for Norwich. Plays in a 3 just behind Pookie, getting 2 assists. Shelvey and Longstaff with the assist there for Newcastle. The bonus points, of course, Pookie getting 3, Cantwell 2 and Shelvey getting 1. Moving on to Southampton, probably the most disappointing game for most, with the fact that the majority were captaining Salah. At the end of the day, it was Firmino and Mane that were in the goals. But of course, biggest talking point is Mane. People are thinking of downgrading Salah to Mane. Do I agree with that? I don't think if you're doing a wild card, that's wise. But if you're wild carding, absolutely bring in Mane ahead of Salah. That's just my opinion. Mainly because we know how Mane plays through the middle for Liverpool. He just likes to score goals. And of course, Danny Ings back to score against his former team there. But the biggest talking point again as well is the fact that no clean sheet again for Liverpool. People with double, if not triple, Liverpool defensive assets. Are you getting concerned now? I certainly would be. And of course the bonus points there. Mane with 3, Firmino 2 and Danny Ings return with the 1. Moving on to Man City versus Spurs. 2-2 it ended. Very controversial circumstances. Even I thought it was 3-2, but Jesus' goal was ruled out. A little VAR decision there ruling out the goal thanks to a handball by Laporte. You know, at the end of the day, the rule is there that even if it just touches the hand without the player knowing, it is going to be classed as a handball. So the goal scored Aguero, Sterling, Lucas Moura and Lamela. De Bruyne, of course, with the 2 assists. Is De Bruyne essential? I think he is. With the form that he's in now, get him in while you can. He's now gone up by 0.1. He went up by 0.1 on Sunday evening / Monday early morning, if you know what I mean. I'm sure you do. Lamela and Ndombele getting the assist there. Of course, Lamela scoring. The bonus there. I didn't know that. De Bruyne got 3. Unbelievable. I genuinely didn't know that. Wow. Okay. Odd. De Bruyne with 3, Lamela with 2 and Ndombele with 1. Genuinely taken aback by that. Moving on to Sheffield United versus Crystal Palace. Ended 1-0. Of course, a lot of people getting either Lundstrom off the bench or actually playing him ready. He got a goal. He got the clean sheet, a whopping 14 points. Of course, Cy Bellamy benefited a lot from him, and of course he got the 3 points along with Henderson with 2 points, the goalkeeper, and Ender Stevens with the 1 bonus point. Moving on to Chelsea. I did say this, Chelsea, after a European game, they never seem to win games. And it's continued, and they drew 1-1. Apparently they could have lost as well. And by the way, I did predict a 2-1 victory to Leicester, but for whatever reason I'd accidentally put a 2-1 in the Super Brew to Chelsea. I don't know why, but I did predict 2-1 to Leicester. It could have ended 2 or 3 apparently to Leicester. Didn't take the chances. Ended 1-1. Mason Mount, of course, now repaying his faith into, of course, Lampard's faith into him starting him in the Premier League. Ndidi with the goal for Leicester and Maddison with the assist. Is Maddison the Leicester asset that we should all be jumping on, not Tielemans or the disappointing Perez? The bonus with Mount and Ndidi with 3 and Evans with the 1. And finally, of course, we move on to last night's game where Wolves drew 1-1 with Man U. Very disappointing result for United fans. It sounded like an absolutely terrible game. Again, people, if you joined us live watching it, well, not watching it, but you know what I mean, if you joined myself and Jason reacting live to what was going on last night, basically we weren't reacting at all. We were just talking about Jason's wildcard. It was that quiet of a game. Neves, of course, scoring. Martial was the first goal scorer with a Rashford assist. And Moutinho, another player which people seem to overlook, but what I will say is that Pogba, he won the penalty, whatever you may think of it. He got a penalty, but he missed it. It was saved by Patrizio, and I did think, who in our mini league has Patrizio? And I found out who it was. It was FPL Penguin. So FPL Penguin in our challenge cash mini league. Well done to you, having Patrizio there saving you. And then we move on to the bonus points, where it was Moutinho with 3, Patrizio with 2, Neves and Rashford with 1. So there's the action from the weekend all covered. Did you enjoy the weekend? Did it give you any ideas about moving forward, who you want to be bringing in? We'll just quickly move on to the Challenge League. Like I said, everybody, this specific podcast today is more about looking back over the weekend and the mini leagues. Well, the Cash Mini League, how it's standing. I'll look over the Cash Mini League first, and then we'll move on to the Community League, which, of course, we have a player in there which is doing exceedingly well. You know who you are, Dereco. He's doing exceedingly well at the moment, and I want to highlight his team when it comes to the free Elite FPL Mini League. That if you want to join in, the code is in the description. But at the moment we have Ian Rose, that's top of the league. I say congratulations to him. At the end of the day, he has used 2 chips. But he's top of the league. He's on 170 points. He's joint top, actually, with Wayne Hanley, but we'll get onto his team in a second. But as it stands right now, Ian Rose is officially top, but he played his wild card. Last week, he played a bench boost, which, in mine and Jason's opinion, failed. This week, played his wild card, 68 points. Well done to you there. Overall rank of 2,096. Cracking rank. What are your thoughts on his team, everybody? He's top of our Cash Mini League. For people listening on audio, it's Tom Heaton, Maitland-Niles, Alexander-Arnold, Digne, Zinchenko, De Bruyne, Mane, Sterling. He captained him as well. Lanzini. Interesting to know why he went with Lanzini. Martial, Keane of Everton up front. And then just a bench fodder of the usual Button, Greenwood, Wickham and Rico. So, yeah, he's top of our mini league, like I said. Then we move on to, like I just mentioned there, Wayne Hanley. He's joint top, but like I said, the way it's being done at the moment, you are officially second. So we move on to Wayne Hanley here. 170 points. 78 points this week. I don't think he's played a chip at all. Let's just go. Oh, he played. Oh, that's why. He played his triple captain last week, and he played it on Salah. Right, okay. So he's already used the triple captaincy. I am shocked at the amount of chips that are being played for such a high level of calibre of managers that are in our mini league. I am shocked that so many chips are being played, but you clearly know what you're doing. You're doing exceedingly well at the moment. For people on audio, we've got Matt Ryan in goal, Van Dijk, Robertson, Lundstrom, Lamella, Salah, McGinn, Sterling, he captained, De Bruyne, Mopé, Pukki. He did take a -8. The transfers were Mopé, Pukki, and I think it was McGinn that he brought in last week. On his bench, surprisingly, he had Maguire and Wan-Bissaka and Greenwood, so he had no faith in Man United at all last night. Proven right. So congratulations to you there, Wayne. Clearly, as we always say, you know something that we don't. You are a Liverpool fan, however, and maybe that had some kind of a persuasion towards your choices there. Moving on to a third spot, it's a very good hardcore follower of the Elite FPL show. It's our man Dylan. He hasn't used any chips whatsoever. 77 points. Matt Ryan in goal, Van Dijk, Zinchenko, Digne, Lundstrom, Salah, Sterling, Perez, De Bruyne, Pukki, Wilson. Basically, it's just Jason's team. He's not copying him, I know that much, but it's an excellent team. It's pretty much the team that you want to be basically using moving forward, I think. I think that you can play your cards close to your chest. You don't need to make any rash decisions whatsoever, and I think moving forward you are in an excellent position to really, excuse the pun, challenge for this challenge mini league. And fair play to our man as well, because like I said, he's been a supporter of this Elite FPL podcast since virtually the beginning, and it's really good to see one of our hardcore followers doing so well this particular season, especially seeing the growth of this particular channel. And finally, moving on to Marlon Moore. We spoke about him last night. 83 points. Did he use a cap? So yeah, bizarrely, he got 83 points last week, 83 points this week. I mean, G-Wiz was banging on about people getting an average of 60 points over the first 2 game weeks. Well, Wayne here, average of 83. Tom Eaton in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Lundstrom, Alexander-Arnold, Coleman, De Bruyne, Sterling, Salah, Perez, Captain Pukki, and then Wilson. And then on the bench, amazingly, on the bench he had Lamella. Quite extraordinary. Clearly had no faith in Tottenham whatsoever. But yeah, that's the top 4 in our cash mini league. So congratulations to you guys. You're doing exceedingly well. And I'll tell you what we'll do next. We will move on to the Elite FPL Community League. Let's see the standard of this. Now, I know for a fact that we have somebody that's doing well. They're doing exceedingly well. It's a friend of the show. It's Dereco. He is 11th. Okay, let that sink in. 11th overall ranking. It is disgusting. That rank is disgusting. On Saturday, he was first, and I know Dereco's live in chat. If you want to come live on air, please, please, please do, because I'd like to talk to you about this this controversial team. I don't want to reveal why, but yeah, it's a controversial team. Either way, extraordinary rank there. 11th overall. You have played both chips. First game week, you had an exceptionally good score of 121. Triple captaining Sterling. I think that is when game week, a single game week triple captaincy was the perfect time to use. I'm stating the blinking obvious, but no, that's excellent. And then, of course, this week you played a free hit and got a whopping 78 points. Let's quickly go through this free hit 11. Matt Ryan in goal. You did have Rico starting, but he didn't. And you had Martin Kelly coming off the bench. But your third sub, I don't know why you had Lundstrom as third sub. I would always be playing Lundstrom, certainly as my second sub at the earliest, just behind Den Donker. But third sub, that's bloody hell. But third sub, I would certainly not be putting Lundstrom there, especially when you're playing for Sheffield United, and look at the moment pretty solid right now. Anyway, but yeah, you played a 3-4-3 in this free hit. So yeah, Ryan, eventually Kelly came off the bench. Montoya, Digne, Mane, Sterling, Gross, Pulisic, and then Pukki, Firmino, and Aubameyang as captain. So yeah, 11th overall in the world. Quite extraordinary. And congratulations to you. And like I said, if you want to come live on air with myself, it's on Discord, as you know. But for anybody that wants to come live on air, you need to get in that Discord waiting room, and I'll be more than happy to speak to you about moving forward with your team. Cy Bellamy. We've already quickly looked over his team. We'll just quickly look over it again. 153rd in the world. Absolutely amazing rank. It's a question of how these people keep this ranking up, but you've got the players moving forward. It's just, I mean, I've already said it, but in Cy's case, Wesley, got to get rid of him. King, I suppose, yeah, not too bad. And then one of the double Liverpool defenders. But other than that, can't complain. I can't complain because you're 153rd in the world. So congratulations to Cy there with a whopping 93 points and 153rd in the world. Moving on to third spot, it's Darren Walsh. Another early wildcarder. Wow, so this is wildcard team. He's going with a 4-5-1 formation. Must be disappointing in Jota up top, but for people listening on audio, it's Matt Ryan in goal. So remember, this is a wild card. Alexander-Arnold, Robertson, Digne, Dunk. That's his back four. Kevin De Bruyne, Pedro, David Silva, Sterling. Wow, triple Man City. David Silva punt. Wow, very interesting. Mane, and then up front, Jota. So Darren Walsh there, 252nd in the world. Wow. That's, again, such a high standard. I wonder if I think it's after game week 5, the overall average scores of mini leagues get put up on the official site. And I wonder if we'll be up there. I wonder if our league will be up there. Wouldn't that be absolutely amazing if our Elite FPL free mini league came up there? And then finally on to someone called Kim Annie. I always do this joke. A woman. For any Simpsons fans out there, you'll appreciate that. I know my brother doesn't watch, so that'd be nobody. But Kim Annie there, a whopping 95 points this particular game week. Wow. Let's see if she, I'm assuming it's a she. No, they haven't played a chip. So it's a bit of a different team as well. So well done to Kim here. Pickford in goal. We've got Lundstrom, Digne, Walker, Sterling, Fraser, De Bruyne, Perez, Sigurdsson, Pukki and Wilson up top. I'm wondering if... No, she did actually play Lundstrom. So congratulations to Kim there. You are 4th in the free Elite FPL mini league. Well done to you there. And 412th in the world. The standard is absurd in this mini league. And like I said, Dereco 11th overall. But yeah, I've been speaking for a very long time now. Like I said, we are just reflecting over the last game week. I've got my team from the week just gone by. It's not up in the 90s or the hundreds like some of you have been, but there is my team from this week. And what we'll do is we'll go into the let's be honest here, let's go into the Discord and let's find out who wants to come live on air. The simplest answer is we have got regular contributors in Aussie Boy and Keyboy. First of all, we'll get Aussie Boy live on the Elite FPL morning call-in or breakfast show. Good morning, Aussie Boy.
Hello, how you going, man?
All good. More importantly, how are you after game week 2?
It was a bit disappointing, I'm not gonna lie, but I'll have to take it. I had 42 points, so it's alright. It's above the average, so I just want to make sure I'm above the average every week, and I've already made 3 transfers, so yeah.
Oh, wow. Are you willing to reveal live on air what you've done or not?
Pardon, what did you say, sorry?
I was just wondering, are you willing to reveal live on air what you've done.
Yeah, sure. So, I've downgraded Wilson to Pookie, and who was it? Who was that? Perez to Ceballos to free up, to go Fraser to Kevin De Bruyne.
Wow, that's very, very good news.
Yeah.
Where are you in the
And then,
Where are you in the Challenge Mini League after last night? I'm trying to look for you. I know you.
not that good. I think I am 73rd or something, towards the bottom.
Yeah, here we are. Yeah, okay, 73rd. Yeah, that's okay. Let's have a look over your Gameweek 2 team. 3-5-2.
Yeah.
Pope in goal, Robertson, Digne, Wan-Bissaka, Salah captain, Sterling, Fraser, Perez, Pulisic, Wilson, and that there. So remind us of those transfers again, please.
So I've got rid of I've got rid of Wilson for Pookie. I've got rid of Perez for Ceballos, and then I felt like I needed KDB, so I've got him for Fraser.
I think they're excellent.
So,
excellent.
Yeah, it took a -4.
Yeah, I think that there has certainly
I
improved.
I was trying to hold off on making it, but then I saw Fraser take lose 0.1, and then I saw De Bruyne and who was it, Ceballos go up 0.1, and so if I didn't do it then, that meant I wouldn't have been able to afford. So I was like, I'm just gonna do it, and then because I didn't want to miss out because of the money. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Pulisic moving forward? How many games are you giving him?
Well, I want him to. Okay, so I'll give him at least next game because they have Norwich, and then I'll probably reassess after the Norwich game and if there are other problems that I think are more pressing, then I'll probably hold him an extra game week because he has Sheffield at home. But if he doesn't return in those games, he's 100% gone, and I'll probably bring in someone like Maddison maybe.
Oh, so you'd be willing to maybe? Did you say you got rid of Perez, didn't you? So
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'd be willing to get back on that Leicester train?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Maddison return. I have faith in them, and I think the fixtures should clear up soon. So I felt like I needed Pookie because if you're at that price, if you're scoring hat tricks and a goal against top 2 team, then I think you need him. But if it doesn't suit what you want to do, then you may. If you're happy with your forwards, then you may as well leave it, I guess.
Well, the main talking point of today is wildcard, and have you not been tempted by a wildcard?
I've certainly been tempted, but I'm not going to follow through. Well, I can't anymore. I'm not going to play a wildcard after taking a points hit. So.
Yeah, I completely agree. Can I ask you, as a Liverpool fan, your thoughts on Liverpool so far this season? They're winning, but they're conceding.
Well, I guess last week was a bit unlucky with the Adrian mistake. It was pretty pathetic. So, if anyone who doesn't know, basically we passed it back to him. He had it, and then Danny Ings comes sprinting at him, and instead of passing it out wide to one of whoever was there, he kicked it right into Danny Ings, and they scored a goal. It was a really bad goal. So that's what cost us. I think we would have, if it wasn't for that, we probably would have kept it. But I'm definitely worried. That's why I think I said very early on, I'm not going to double up for any team, and I guess it's working. I'm holding strong with Robertson, though. I'm not going to get rid of him anytime soon.
You haven't been persuaded by United assets after last night, certainly with Martial.
I have. I've wanted, but now I just think it's too far gone, really, with Martial. For me.
I mean, have you thought about maybe getting Martial in ahead of Pulisic, or are you now priced out of that move?
I'm priced out of that move, but I definitely wouldn't make it this week. I'd definitely look to consider him because he's playing well. But I wouldn't if Pulisic, if I end up holding him next week, And then I have the 2 free ones. I might look to do Robertson to Van Dijk and Pulisic to Martial. That might be a move. I would consider. But I wouldn't do it next week. I think I probably... I don't think I'll make a move next week, but who knows? Something might happen and I will.
You've brought up a very interesting point regarding who knows, because FPL is a very, very interesting mind game from a psychological point of view. We all come into the season with a game plan, and it's, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. After game week 1, it's, oh, I'm not doing that after all, I'm going to be doing this instead. And we all have that mindset of, well, if this player's looking good, I've got to get on in right now. Take Pookie as the prime example. Scores against Liverpool. The logic dictated, well, if you can score against Liverpool, what's he going to do against Newcastle? Well, we saw what he did. He scored a hat-trick.
Yeah.
And were you never... last week, were you not tempted by bringing in Pookie?
Well, I was sticking to my guns of not making any transfers because also I wouldn't have got rid of Jota because I just think he's good and I wouldn't get rid of him. And Wilson had the promoted fixture. So there was no one really to go for him, to make room for him really, until then after a hat-trick is a very different to one goal that you could say could have been easily stopped. So... because I think with Liverpool we do tend to take our foot off the pedal a bit and then let us goal in late. So yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. But now that he's done this and he's their prime attacker, so you can't look past him, I don't think. And earlier I said he might be the next Mitrovic, but now I'm beginning to think that he's the next Jimenez instead. So.
Can I ask what your thoughts are on basically people wildcarding at the moment?
It all depends really. It depends what kind of players you have. For me, I'm not doing it. It crossed my mind, but I thought, what could I do with it? But I just think it's not really worth it, the players that I would be getting rid of. So, yeah, it's your choice. They're going to be my rivals, so I'd rather them wildcard early, to be honest.
Yeah, I am.
But I wouldn't recommend it unless you really have lots of fires to put out.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to bring on Keyboy. So Keyboy, regular contributor to these morning breakfast shows. Again, remind us, Aussie boy, what time is it over there at the moment?
It is 4:46 p.m.
Oh, so we're bang on in the afternoon.
Very nice.
Keyboy, good morning to you, or good afternoon. How are you, my friend? How was your game week?
How you doing, boys? How are you?
Good, you?
Yeah, not good at all, to be honest.
Tell us why.
I think this week was just a massive reality check. This was an FPL sort of, a big reality check for me. Week 1, I got something like 91 points, and I remember sitting in the Discord chat just laughing it up, seeing everyone panicking, bringing in this guy and that guy and just laughing at them. And now I've had a bad week and I'm sitting here stressing out. I've no idea what to do.
And where are you in our Cash Mini League, Keyboy?
I haven't checked. I don't want to look.
I'm sure you're doing better than me. So.
Well, to be honest, I'm over exaggerating a bit. I didn't have that bad of a week compared to everyone else, but it's just, you see some people that have had Pookie in and they're just getting 80s and stuff like that, and it just makes you feel so much worse.
What's your team name?
I think it's just Keyboy FC. I think I'm about 40 something, yeah.
Right, okay, because I'd like to bring up on screen and let's see why you're so disheartened. I mean, that's the difficulty
playing. More than me.
Yeah, the difficulty with this particular mini league is that you're just surrounded by freaks of nature. And
exactly.
You've just got to stick to your game plan. So for people listening up on audio, I've got the team. You've got 49 points. That's good. But 49 points. We've got Ryan in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Wan-Bissaka, Dina, Robertson, Salah, Perez, Martial. Oh, you've got Martial, Sterling, King, Wilson. Have you already made some transfers this week?
Yeah, I'm not very proud of myself.
Okay. Do you want to reveal?
I will reveal because I've kind of already. I'm in such a downer right now. I've already admitted the fact that I'm not going to win, so I don't care
Oh,
anymore. I'm
come
just going to
on.
give my information away. No, I'm being dramatic, but I will say. So basically, the second Pookie scored that third goal, I was like, right, this I can't not put him in now, which I regret already because I've had a plan that I was going to implement from game week 1 to game week 5, and then the second he hit that volley, I just went uh-oh, and then he scored the second one, and then he scored the third one. I'm like, right, he's going in. So I've put him in to the demise of everything else I'd had planned. And so I swapped him out for King, which I was gonna take King out anyway, but I did that, and then I took Robertson out. So I've stopped the Liverpool double up because I think from watching both of the games 90 minutes, we've just looked like at no point have I been like, yeah, we looked solid defensively. Like I couldn't say he's keeping a clean sheet against Norwich, and then they scored. We were so lucky to have only conceded one against Southampton, to be honest. Like, yeah, Adrian's blunder was bad, but
Yeah, that
we
first half from us was terrible.
oh, it was shocking, absolutely shocking.
Yeah, and
Danny Ings missed a sitter. They honestly were the better team for the first half. So I took Robertson out, and I've put Emerson in as a little bit of a differential.
So who did you bring in, sorry, for Robertson?
Emerson from Chelsea.
Yeah? Why? Why?
Because I actually think I understand, right, that Chelsea don't look very convincing defensively, but since Kante has come back against Liverpool and against Leicester, they did look defensively a lot better. Leicester probably could have scored a couple past them, but Leicester are probably, in my opinion, the best team outside the top 6. And if you look at the run of fixtures they've got now, it is really good. I think they've got like Norwich or something like that, and then it's Sheffield, I believe. I can't remember. It's Norwich and Sheffield. I'm not sure which order, but he's been looking like he just gets so far forward. He's hit the post twice already this season. Like I think he's just like a little bit of a mini Alonso. And I think 5.5 mil. I'm happy to take the punt because I'm at a stage where my team is so template that now that it hasn't paid off, I need to kind of get a differential in there. And I think if he scores a goal in one of those fixtures and keeps a clean sheet, then that could be the difference between me maybe jumping back up the table a bit.
You say template. I mean, I don't know the official statistics regarding the whole game, but I look at that and I think it's an Elite FPL community template team. I think that me personally, I think you're doing an FPL booner, and I think you've gone into absolute panic mode. Personally, I think.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I think Josh King is an excellent swap to Pookie. Well done to you for getting ahead on the bandwagon there. I love your midfield, barring Perez. I think the Perez one maybe is somebody that we're all looking at to get rid of because he's just been absolutely useless. Emerson is a big differential, but like you've just mentioned, Chelsea's defence is absolutely shambolic at the moment. But you've made a very good case that they've looked a lot better with Kante, and you are right. They've got Norwich up next, and then Sheffield United, 2 very favourable fixtures. I mean, Aussie boy, what are your thoughts on this? Key boy kind of what I feel like almost like a panic mode straight away, and it's only game week 2.
Well, it's very hard to prevent, I guess, because this game definitely makes you panic because you see everyone around you getting so happy, my team's so good, and then you look at your team and you're all sad, and so it's very easy to get emotional, panic, make rage trades. Just making decisions that aren't very wise. So, it's like what FPL Booner's wild card and everything. Just panicking. It's very easy to.
I now want to bring on very close friend of the show. It's Statman. He is somebody that has certainly not been having the greatest of couple of game weeks, and we'll bring up his team in a second. But Kev, Statman, you are live on the Elite FPL Morning Breakfast Show. You've just heard from Keyboy, he's feeling a bit down. We all know about various other regular members of the community feeling a bit down. People like Jason last night threatening to potentially wildcard. He won't, but Kevin, how are you feeling considering how you've been doing? Hello, Kevin.
Oh, he's gone.
Yeah, he's just gone.
Oh, damn. I mean, let's bring him back in again. Surely he wants to. Kev, you are live on the Morning Breakfast Show, my friend. No, he's not there. We'll keep him in the waiting room and everything. But I'll ask you, Keyboy, straight away. I don't know if you watched the stream last night or anything, but Jason did say that he's thinking of using the wild card. Straight away, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I did watch the stream. I mean, like he said, to be honest, if that's the way that he wants to play, then that's the way that he plays. It's as simple as that. I wouldn't personally, given of how well he's done, but if he genuinely believes that the next couple of weeks he would do better if he uses Wild's card, then I can't see why you wouldn't. You kind of have to put the past behind you, you know, it doesn't really matter. You have to keep looking forward, and I think if he wants to do that, then I think he should do it.
I mean, we've got his team up on screen at the moment. For anybody that doesn't know Jason's team, he is... I can't quite read that. I think it's either 8,000 or 5,000 or whatever. He's doing very, very well, basically. He's on 165 points. And Matt Ryan in goal, Digne, Van Dijk, Zinchenko, Wan-Bissaka, De Bruyne, Salah, Sterling, Perez, Wilson and Pukki. We do know for fact that he has done Perez to Ceballos. Aussie boy, what are your thoughts on... Well, you've already done it yourself, Perez to Ceballos.
Yeah, well... I watched the game because it was on before Liverpool, and I decided just to stay up instead of go to sleep. So, yeah, he looked so dangerous. He looked so good. The skill he did a few little tricks, you know, that were really nice and looked really slick. And he's like the link-up man between the defense, the midfield, and the attack. He's everywhere, and then he's got the 2 assists, and I can really see him being that kind of guy who plays the ball to Pepe, Aubameyang, and Lacazette. So I think at 5.5, he's an absolute steal. He looked really good.
Can I ask you your opinion on the Liverpool game upcoming? Because we ain't going to get anybody from down under opinion on the Liverpool versus Arsenal game this weekend. I've said that I personally think it's going to be a very, very high scoring game. Your thoughts, Aussie first, and then we'll get Keyboy's thoughts.
For Liverpool, we definitely won't keep a clean sheet, because their attack's really good. I just think that 4 of Pepe, Aubameyang, Lacazette, and Ceballos is just insane. So yeah, I think I can definitely see him scoring 1 or 2 goals, but I think we'll win just because we're the better team all around. Maybe it will be a 4-2, something like that. Yeah, wow. I'll probably be watching it.
The Keyboy, your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. I'm expecting it to be pretty high scoring. It's as your best friend history says, it's usually a bit of a goal fest. But I think from an individual player point of view, this will be a good test for players like Trent Alexander-Arnold and Ceballos, because if there's ever going to be a game where Gomez is going to start over Trent, then this is going to be it. So we're going to be able to get a good idea how much Trent is actually going to get rotated, whether he starts and then gets subbed off, or whether he doesn't start and then gets subbed on. It'll be a big difference. And then with Ceballos, I think if he's an attacking midfielder, like in an Ozil position, it's a great pick. But if he sits a little bit too deep, which I think he will do against Liverpool, we'll be able to see a little bit more where he's going to play, I think, and it's going to be interesting to see that.
Greasy Trumpet is asking straight away. I mean, Aussie Boy's already answered the question in chat, but I'll ask you, Keyboy. Would you bring in Ceballos, yes or no?
It's tough. I think, one, it's good because it's an easy swap from Perez, right? I'd rather have Ceballos and Emil than have Perez. So that's a pretty good reason to do it. I think they've got a pretty terrible run of fixtures though. It's like Liverpool and then someone, I can't remember who it is, and then it's like Chelsea or something. Like they have a pretty tough. No, Spurs and then City. I think
Yeah.
that's tough. It's very tough. So, like I said, with this Liverpool game, I'd like to watch this game, see where he plays against the big teams. Because if he's still playing just as attacking as he was against Burnley, then wow, that is an absolute steal in my opinion. But if he's sitting too deep, then I don't know if I'm going to go on it until after those fixtures get a bit better.
Well, yeah, I've just got something to say about, because with Liverpool, that's a tough fixture, but I can definitely see him doing something. Tottenham, yeah, at home, but then after those two games, and then if he returns, which I think he definitely can in one of those two games, I can definitely see another price rise. So, and then after that, he has Watford and Aston Villa, then United, and then after that, if you look at those, that's when Game week 8, I'd be getting him in. If you're not getting him in now, but yeah, I just prefer to have him now because it just works in my transfers really.
Well,
but I can definitely see your point. Because those fixtures after they clear up are amazing.
Unai Emery does not set up to defend, and I think that he's going to use his front two for definite in Lacazette and Aubameyang and whoever else to just go at Liverpool. They're there for the taking at the moment. They're leaking goals. They're playing a very high line. I think that is going to be... It's probably going to end up 0-0, to be honest with you. Basker, regular contributor and a big fan of the show again. He's been with us from virtually the start. Basker Burrow asking, I think it's a bit of a, no disrespect, a bit of a daft question really, but who would you play out of Ceballos and Cathcart? Aussie Boy will ask you that.
Well, who does Cathcart have? Who does Norwich have?
No, he plays for Watford.
Oh, does he? Oh, who do they have?
I completely forgotten. Let me just quickly bring it up right now.
West Ham away.
West Ham away.
Yeah, West Ham at home.
There we are.
Don't think it matters.
No.
I'd probably... that's a tough one. I'd probably play Ceballos.
Play Ceballos? Yeah, absolutely.
Just because I think... Because we're leaking goals, I think he should get a return. But Cathcart, I don't... Because Watford are playing so bad, he's not going to keep a clean sheet. If I'm not mistaken, he's a defender, right?
Yeah, it's...
Yeah, so I don't think he'll get any... I think because Watford have just been so bad that I don't think he'll keep a clean sheet. So you may as well play Ceballos, just hoping he'll get maybe a return or something like that.
Statman,
I can't see Watford keeping a clean sheet.
Statman, are you there? I know you're in the on-air bit. I can hear...
Yeah, can you hear us now, Stephen?
I can hear you loud and clear. Fantastic, my friend. Straight away, we'll be asking you your thoughts on people like Jason potentially doing a wildcard and various other people that haven't had such a great start to the season hitting that wildcard button. We know that you haven't had a great season. We'll bring up your team in a minute so far. Have you thought about hitting the wildcard?
Yeah, I've already hit the wild card. I announced with Boona, didn't I?
Of course. Yeah.
On one of the previous streams, pretty much directly after Boona announced. So
wow.
Yeah, I'm already in the midst of the tinkering, and I am excited. I'm not going to lie.
Okay, I know this is the show more dedicated to the hardcore followers, but are you willing to reveal your first 11 that you've picked so far?
I can't, Steve-O. I can't do it. It's the competitive side of us. I've stumbled across some cracking rotations, and because I'm doing so poorly, I just want to keep them to myself at least until Saturday. But yeah, I think I'm just going to hold it for a bit.
Okay. Well,
sorry, mate.
No, don't, mate. I shouldn't be asking these. Well, I should be asking the questions, but I feel guilty asking these because at the end of the day, like I said, these specific streams of now where we're reflecting over the mini league and what people are doing, we're all rivals at the end of the day. And if you feel that your rivals like FPL Boona and whatnot are potentially going to copy your team, I say keep your cards just. But there must be, in all seriousness, so we got your team up on screen. That was as of last game week. We've got Tom Heaton, Robertson, Lundstrom, Wan-Bissaka, Fraser, Tielemans, De Bruyne, Salah, Wesley, Wilson, Aubameyang. Out of that 11, there's got to be some that are definitely staying.
Yeah, Yeah, well, Heaton's still in at the minute.
Wow.
Wan-Bissaka's still in. Well, Heaton's still in.
Wow.
Wan-Bissaka's still in. Yeah, that's just something I haven't had time to delve into. A keeper, because there's so many potential options at 4.5. It seems. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of teams with decent fixtures like Brighton, obviously Villa, Sheffield are keeping clean sheets at home. So don't get us wrong, Heaton's not nailed. I just haven't delved into who I can replace him with yet. Lundstrom's staying 100%. He saved game week last week massively because Gomez didn't start. So I was probably one of the only people that got him for an automatic sub, which was a thing of sheer beauty, Steve-O. And because the Gomez move hurt us in game week 1, because I moved from Van Dijk to Gomez, he didn't get the goal. But then having Gomez in game week 2, I didn't end up with 2 points, which I would have had for Van Dijk. I got the 14 off Lundstrom. So, I think it's like the FPL gods were smiling on us on Sunday. But who else is staying? KDB staying 100%. And that's it, really. That's it. All the others are new.
Wow.
I'm looking at the minute I've got Marnie instead of Salah, but I've got the money in the bank for Salah, but I'm being a bit tricky. I'm expecting Salah to go down 0.1. So even if I go with him, I'll take him out while I've got me wildcard active, and then when he drops, I can bring him back in for 12.4 if I see fit by Saturday. So I'm kind of playing the rises a bit, but when you hear stats like Marnie's outscored Salah in 2019 and how good he looked against Southampton, is he actually the worst option, Steve-O, going forward?
You are on the same boat as me. So at the moment, Salah has been sold by 186,000, approaching 187,000. Now, admittedly, a lot of people are playing their wildcards, so that means that potentially that he may not drop down at all. I can't see many people that haven't activated their wildcards getting rid of him personally. I completely agree with you though. I think that a player like Mane, who's in form at the moment, is scoring goals for fun, playing through the centre for Liverpool. It seems to be his favourite position. I think you're onto something there, Kev.
Maybe. Like you say, the numbers at the end of the season normally on 4 off, but it's kind of if you can get each of them through their patches. Do you know what I mean? Like when Salah's hot, he's hot. It's great to have him, but Mane has them runs as well, and if they don't have them at the same time, you can kind of hop from one to another and maximise your returns. But it's a bit of a minefield choosing it. But yeah, and other options, I'm still banging my head over who's the best option between Rashford and Martial. Because that sets things up. Because if Rashford takes a forward spot, I then can't have so and so. So, I'm not sure. What do you think? Who do you think's the favourite option between them two at the minute? Then
can I just ask you a quick question? Personally, by the way, I think Martial was the best pick, but it's tricky now that he's went up by 0.1. Because you're essentially paying 8 mil in my eyes now when a player goes up by 0.1. So you're paying 0.5 mil extra for Rashford, who's on penalties. So at this point, I think Rashford, if you're going to bring someone in, it's probably him. But I think Martial's the better pick. But what I want to ask you is, now that you shouldn't have any player bias, given the fact that technically you don't actually own anyone, because you've got your wildcard complete freedom, who do you think are, after the first 2 weeks, the essentials for a team now?
I mean, I'll let Aussie Boy answer that question first.
I think also essentials. I'd probably say De Bruyne, Sterling. Those are the two main ones, really. I see. Just those two City assets. They're the ones that are going to be getting the assists and goals, and City have a really good run now. So yeah, I think they're the two main essentials. And maybe, yeah.
I think essentials a very strong word here. I think an Everton defender. I think they're absolutely.
Oh yeah, Digne is so good.
Digne, Coleman, one of the two doesn't really. In fact, you can get one of the centre backs. It doesn't matter. One of the Pickford, another one. Anything to do with Everton's back line, basically get somebody in. Aussie, you've just mentioned it just there. I think we've found the power 3 midfield to own. I think that it wouldn't be stupid to go with, maybe if you're on a wild card like you are, Kev, maybe going with a 4-3-3 formation, or do something like GW2 has done with a 5-3-2. I certainly think that you need the power three of one of Salah or Mane. I mean, off the top of my head, if you want to save money, Mane. But Salah, Sterling and Kevin De Bruyne are absolute must-haves. They are looking absolutely, well, Mane especially now is looking absolutely stunning. There are no other midfielders off the top of my head that are performing where I'm thinking, got to own them. And then up front, I mean, I'm stating the blinking obvious, but I think Pookie and Barnes.
I don't think he's quite essential.
Barnes, yeah, I've said it before and I'll say it again. When Burnley are on form, get onto their assets. And I think that with Burnley's fixtures upcoming at the moment, I think that getting in a player which is scoring for fun, I think absolutely get onto the Barnes bandwagon straight away. Your ears pricked up there, Keyboy. What are your thoughts?
They
on
did.
That?
Well, I just want to ask you. Well, you obviously know a lot more about Burnley than I do, so I'm not going to, fault your logic at all. But if I was to ask you then, given the fact that Pookie obviously looks like the informed player in FPL at the moment, would you rather have Pookie or Barnes, including the fact that Pookie's fixtures, obviously it's Chelsea, then West Ham, and then City, isn't it? So who would you want for, say, the next 4 or 5 game weeks?
So I was asked this question the other day, and I found it extremely difficult because I've got my bias hat on, which is of course Barnes, and then you've got my logical hat, but then I've got the bandwagon of Pookie, and I've just got Burnley's fixtures up at the moment. So we've got Wolves away. Well, if we can score against them. We only lost 1-0 the season before, but I think the form that we're in at the moment, the fact that Wolves are in Europe again next week, we could take advantage of that. Liverpool at home, said it before and I'll say it again, we actually do pretty well against Liverpool. We lose, but we do score. And then we've got this beautiful set of fixtures. Brighton and Hove Albion away, we always win. Norwich at home, I'd like to think that we do something. Aston Villa away, that's a tough game. And then Everton at home. Is Everton at home? I don't know why they've put that as a green, but that's terrible. So I certainly think in the next 4 or 5 fixtures, Ashley Barnes can take advantage. Whereas, like you said regarding Pookie, it's all a case of, have you got faith in a promoted team versus some of the top teams, like, for example, Chelsea upcoming, Man City. You just can't foresee Pookie doing anything. You could argue, well, hold on a minute, he played against Liverpool and he scored, but at the moment, Liverpool, including pre-season, including the end of last season, have been conceding a lot of goals. I don't know why, but looking at his next fixtures, Chelsea at home, can I see him scoring? Yes. West Ham United away? Yes. Man City at home? No chance. And then it's Burnley, Crystal Palace, Aston Villa. I think, if I'm honest with you, both are equal.
Well,
yeah.
It's such a tough decision, so that's why I would probably go with both of them.
Well, if Jota doesn't perform in the next 2, then I think it's an easy swap to Barnes, because that run of fixtures from 5 to 9 is really nice, and I'd want to. And even because Chelsea, if they don't fix up their defence by then you can hold him for that and even go for longer. So Ashley Barnes, the return of Burnley this season, maybe, I don't know, because they looked really dangerous against us, I've got to say, in the first half. So yeah, I like Ashley Barnes as an option, to be honest.
What are your thoughts, Statman, on all this chat about Pookie and Barnes up front?
Yeah, I had them both in my initial wild card that I made. And the same theory you've got, Stevo, they've both got nearly exactly the same difficulty fixtures for me, where I can see them both scoring. Do you know what I mean? They're both in form. The people forget Pookie's only scored 1 more than Barnes. He's not miles ahead. But I've had a tinker, and Pookie survived the last tinker, put it that way, and Barnes is gone. But I really like the look of him. He's on form. You know what I mean? His goals are well taken. He's getting in the positions. But all right, I've got Rashford instead of Barnes. See, I'm going to give away this whole wild card bit by bit here. But, like, I've got Rashford, okay? I've got Rashford and Pookie up front. It was Barnes and Pookie. But yeah, I had a little bit of a tinker, and I've got Rashford and Pookie. But Barnes is pretty close. I'd love to have three of them, but that midfield, like you talked about, Steve-O, I've got De Bruyne, Mane, Sterling. And another person. All right, I've got Son as well. Right, you've got me midfield and me attack now, so I'm only holding on to me defence. So
May as well say.
I know what you are doing, guys. I know what you are doing. But I brought Son in at the expense of having three up top. Because I wanted Barnes, Pookie, and Rashford, but Son coming back in that Newcastle fixture. Can you not just see him come back with a bang, Steve-O? Can you not imagine Son just watching these two opening games, just chomping at the bit to get out there?
He may not even play.
Don't set the seed of doubt. It was Buna really, how confident Buna was that he's going to start 100%. He's coming back. He's the main man. And I had him for big parts of last season, and he absolutely slayed it. So Son is in there. If he doesn't start, he'll come on 60 minutes or something, and he can do as much damage in half an hour as most can do in 90. So at my midfields, like De Bruyne, Mane, Sterling, Son, them on their day can net you 60 points themselves. So that's why I'm so excited going into game week 3, Steve-O. It's like I lost a lot of ground on the first week. I gained a bit back this week, finishing on 51, a lot of people on 40s, and I just think going forward into game week 3, 4, 5, I think people that are wildcarding are taking the initiative and building that epic team that could easily catch up 20, 30 points, 40 points in a few game weeks. So I can't wait for Saturday this week. Absolutely buzzing for it.
Like I said, I like doing these streams because you get to have your voice rather than the English. Let's be honest here, the English speaking. So even though I know you guys are English Scottish, you get the idea. The point being, however, is that you're from down under. You get to have your say. Obviously, this particular game week coming up, it looks like it's going to have the most diverse captaincy options available to us. Like I said, if we bring the fixtures up here, we have got Liverpool at home to Arsenal. Well, you could captain either one of Salah, Mane or Aubameyang. We have Man City away at Bournemouth. Their record against Bournemouth is absurd. So we're talking Kevin De Bruyne or Sterling. And then, of course, Spurs at home to Newcastle. Now, admittedly, I went through the history last night and they have been very, very tight games. We're talking only one goal in it. Last two fixtures at White Hart Lane have been 1-0. Kane and Son, obviously the standout picks. I keep asking you this, stat man, and I'll keep asking this until the trend seems to go away. But your thoughts on captaining a player from a team that is playing Newcastle when Newcastle are away from home? Because I know you mentioned that at St James's Park you're going to keep it tight, but away from home you weren't too keen on them doing anything.
I just think the heads can go down pretty quick away from home, like Norwich proved. If Spurs get an early goal, they could crumble. But in the same sense, I've been thinking about it, Steve. At home, they're going to be encouraged to play more attacking for the fans. Do you know what I mean? There's 52,000 there, week in, week out. You know, rain or shine, no matter what division we're in, it's going to be full. So I probably retract that statement, because if they're told to push on at home against the more mediocre teams because the fans aren't going to stand for it, we could get hidings home and away, to be honest. So let's see what this Spurs game throws up. They look poor against Arsenal, but you know they held their own slightly, and then they looked appalling against Norwich. So let's see what Spurs do to them. If Spurs turn them over, I reckon there could be a pick for your captain to destroy them. But if it's another tight one, if it's a 1-0, they'll actually shamefully take something out of a 1-0 defeat. Rather than getting trumped.
I'll ask Aussie Boy and Keyboy first. Straight away off the top of your head, who are you going to be captaining this game week?
Sterling.
And Aussie Boy?
Yes, Sterling.
Wow. Okay. We're going to bring on another Aussie. It is Theo from like I said, from Australia. We want to bring on our continental friends. Theo, you are live on the Elite FPL morning show, my friend.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear. Now, obviously, we had you on the other day, and you had taken a -4 or 8. Is that right?
-4. Yes.
-4. Are you tempted by that wild card?
I've decided I'm not going to use it. I've already made plans for the next 2 or 3 weeks, trades-wise, and I think I'll just take the hit this week.
Wow, and could you remind the audience, if you're willing to reveal, who you did your transfers in and who did you take out?
I took out Wilson, Mora and Ake, and I brought in Pookie, Soyuncu and Son.
Keyboy, straight away, what are your thoughts on those particular transfers? I think they're excellent.
Sorry, you cut out there, mate. What's my thoughts on what?
The transfers that Theo has made.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I don't mind him. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the Soyuncu one, but, you know, at the end of the day, that's obviously just your enabler, so you can't ever really complain at someone's enabler. I think Son's a good one to get in. I just think 9.5 mil, there's such a nice little it's a nice little price bracket there, so even if Son doesn't do well, which I think he will, you can just switch him out for Pepe or De Bruyne or someone like that. But do you already have De Bruyne in your team, Theo?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, well, that's brilliant then. I think that's, that midfield. I think this year you want to have a really solid attack in midfield, and it sounds like you've got that. So I think they're absolutely fine transfers, yeah.
I've got De Bruyne in for Salah at the start of the year. So that's my sacrifice.
Ooh,
have,
that does change it.
Do you have a Liverpool attacker for this upcoming game week, Theo?
Oh, no, I don't.
Ooh, so that doesn't concern you with the potential hiding that Arsenal could get? Or the high-scoring game?
Well, that's part of the reason I've been wanting to do a wild card, so I can bring in United versus Palace and Liverpool versus Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, with all this talk about wildcarding in the Elite FPL community, are you tempted to do it?
What did you say? Am I tempted?
By the wildcard because of the Elite FPL community?
Yeah. Been on the Discord and it gets brought up every 5 minutes, so obviously I'm looking at these teams and they look stronger than mine, obviously. But
with Game 3 approaching thick and fast, I mean, what's the day today? Tuesday, yeah. We're only a few days away. Remember, it's a Friday night deadline. Are you confident in your captain pick, and who is going to be your captain?
Sterling, 100% against Bournemouth.
This is really annoying me. A lot of Sterling captains.
Not so diverse after. Sterling. Triple captain Sterling.
Well, I don't have Kane.
Give him a spanking.
So say that again,Ozzy. You think that Man City are going to absolutely spank?
City are going to give Bournemouth a spanking.
Do you have the prediction for that game?
4-0.
You're going 4-0. What about you, Theo?
Yeah, 4-0.
So we're thinking a high-scoring game versus Bournemouth here. That'll be very, very interesting. Theo, any more final thoughts before we let you go?
Final thoughts, did you say?
Yeah, if you got any.
Well, just regarding last stream, your reaction to Wolves' goal was priceless. Your smile on your face when Wan-Bissaka.
I'll tell you, if anybody wants to see, there's a moment where you see me reacting to, I can't remember what it was, but basically you see me cheat. I think it may be when Pogba misses the penalty. I can't remember now, but just watch me, and I just give a little cheeky wink, and Jason's just sat
and you
back.
said. Yeah, Jason was silent and you said, get the vodka after they conceded. Pretty funny.
Absolutely. It is always wonderful doing the live streams during a game because you just don't know what's going to happen. Theo, thank you for your support, and I'm sure we're going to get you on live the next time we're on.
Yep, thank you.
Cheers, thank you, Theo, there. We're going to go through some calls now. I'm sure Statman, Keyboy and Aussie Boy are more than happy to stay along with the line. I see that a new face, I don't recognise this individual. I was in the rating room. So replays, we're going to get you live on air in a minute. Just make sure that you unmute your mic. For everybody that is watching this right now, to show your support, the easiest way to do that is just simply hit that like button. And also for anybody that is watching this and you've never seen any of our content before but you're enjoying it, simply hit that subscribe button. We are pretty much producing live streams every single day, talking all things fantasy football, but more importantly, getting on callers from all across the world like Statman, Keyboy and Aussie Boy right now. So replays, you are live on the Elite FPL calling, my friend. Replays, are you there? Nope, he's not there, fair enough.
Hello?
Oh, there he is. Just about to take you out there. It sounds like you're a native Aussie, is that right?
Oh my god, it's really laggy.
Okay, if you just if you sort out the volume issues and everything, what we'll do is we'll get in Norbs. I know he's been a semi-regular on the show of late. Norb, you are live on the breakfast show with Steve. I think I've changed the name of this show about 30 times this morning. We'll get it right one day. Norb, you're on the breakfast show. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Are you tempted by the wild card?
Oh, yes, I have. We have been discussing this earlier, and I think Wildcard is a very good option. But I feel I've missed out on so many price rises that I can't afford it. I can't afford to have like a good team as everybody else. Because I think...
when you say having a good team, I mean, what specific players are you wanting in your team that you can't afford?
No, it's just all the players that everyone else is getting. It's Lundstrom, it's Pukki, it's... Yeah.
But surely based on the team that you already have, with a bit of tinkering here and there, you'd be able to get the players in that you want.
Yeah, I could slowly get people players in. Like the thing with my team is that I've been very fixture based. So all of my players actually have pretty good fixtures. That, like, I have Murray, like not a very good player, but 3 upcoming fixtures for Brighton is pretty good actually.
You're not.
So he
a very good friend of ours and former co-host that now runs our Instagram page. So for anybody that does use Instagram, our page is being managed by our former co-host Dan Bull. So Dan Bull is now in charge of Instagram page. But Dan Bull's a massive advocate of Murray, but I just think that this Mopai will eventually oust him. You're not concerned about Murray being eventually benched?
Yeah, I am, and he has got not that many minutes. So there are some concerns there.
I think Graham Potter's trying to bring in a more younger, vibrant attacking team up front and get a bit more fluid, and maybe Murray isn't that guy to be doing it. Maybe have you not just thought about just Murray downgraded to this Mopai?
I don't have trades for it, unfortunately. I have so many issues in my team that...
But sure, isn't Glenn Murray 6.5?
Yeah, he's 6.0.
But Mopai is only 6, so you could easily just bring in Mopai instantly. If you wanted a Brighton coverage.
Yeah, but it's all about the subs. Like, if I have any substitutes, and I don't have any substitutes to get them in.
Oh, I see. Right, I understand.
And if I were to use substitutes, I wouldn't do it on Murray, because he has okay fixtures coming up, and as long as he doesn't get benched, he will get minutes, and he might put some goals in, might get some penalties, So then I'd rather take out some West Ham defenders, because that is just horrible. I can't have West Ham defenders in my team.
You've got West Ham defenders in your team, have you? What made you so confident with West Ham?
Yeah, it was just early in the season, and I thought, okay, West Ham they're not a good team, but they have great fixtures coming up. So I thought, yeah, maybe they can bag some clean sheets, and so I have actually I have Diop and I have Reed.
Oh, but, wow!
Yeah, should I go? Yeah.
I'm trying to get. how has your season gone so far? We're only at game week 2. How many points do you have so far?
I got 46 this week, and I got about 83 last week.
Oh, you're having a very
So
good season so far.
Yeah, it's I'm having a very good season, and it's very good point-wise. But the team is
So do you
the
want to
team
just,
isn't good.
for people on audio and for people like me, can you just tell us your starting 11, please?
Yeah, so I have Pickford in goal.
Good choice.
He's been starting the 2 last games, and I have the price right now. And I have Digne. I have I have Diop. I have Reed. I have Van Dijk and Trent Alexander-Arnold. As well as in the midfield, I got Salah. I had Sigurdsson, and I had Mora, and I got Sterling, of course, and then Dunker.
So,
And then I got Haller and Murray up front, and
wow.
Greenwood.
I'll come to you, Statman, straight away. Couple of names stick out there as Haller, and Murray. I mean, we've already spoken about Murray, but your thoughts on this Haller of West Ham? He hasn't really done much so far, has he? I mean, he was injured for the last game and everything, and obviously they had Man City first game.
Yeah, he got Man City and then got injured, so he hasn't been giving me any points so far. But I'm confident he'll start now. And West Ham has okay fixtures ahead, so I'm not sure if I can see him.
Yeah. Statman, your thoughts on Haller, or was it just a case of nope, stick with Pookie and Barnes?
Definitely, I think he's in the same boat as we were with Wesley, Steve-O. You know, we took a bit of a bump, and I'm trying to erase it from my memory. So there's nothing wrong with getting it wrong at this stage of the season. You know, no one knew what these new boys were going to come in and do, but we've got a bit of a yardstick to judge them by, and I think it's time to get them on the way. There's good options around that price range, so I don't think it's a major. Just move them out, get Pookie in, happy days.
Norbs, have you already made a transfer?
Yeah, I have made a transfer.
Are you willing to reveal to us what it is?
Yeah, I've made 2 transfers, and I've just taken out Mora, and I've taken out Sigurdsson, and I've put in Kevin De Bruyne, and I've put in Ndombele.
Ndombele, Keyboy, your thoughts on the Ndombele move?
I think Ndombele's points are probably a little bit more than he deserves, to be honest. I can't see him keeping up the returns that he's been getting. I think he's got a goal and an assist now. I think at 6 was he 6 mil when you got him, or 6.1? No, was he 6 million when you brought him in, or was he 6.1 million?
He was 6 million.
Okay, well that's not as bad. I do think that. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit of feedback here. Hold on.
Yeah, is it better now?
Yeah, it's better. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I think at the 6 million in the midfield, especially now with Ceballos performing the way he did, there's probably better options. But that's just my opinion. If you do back end on Belly, what I will say is for him, I think people expected him to come in and be a holding midfielder, and he's definitely not that. He's a bit more box to box, so he will get more chances and assists and goals than I think we once thought he would. But I still don't think it's as much as the first 2 game weeks seem to suggest.
Are you confident, Norbs, ahead of the next few fixtures for Tottenham? They've obviously got Newcastle up next. Statman isn't particularly hopeful on the result there. Are you hoping that obviously Ndombele gets you some returns?
Yeah, I think he might can. Obviously he's not going to perform as good as he does like now, point-wise. Like, he has 1 assist and 1 goal in 2 games. And that's not going to keep up. But like, if he bags some goals, bags some assists, I will be very pleased with him, actually, because he's 6 million. So, yeah. But I took a trade very early on when I saw that Sigurdsson didn't perform, when I saw that more I was maybe going out of the Pochettino team. So then I thought, okay, I just might as well do the changes and get De Bruyne and get Ndombele, and both of them has risen in price. So there's some value to get there maybe. I had to do it early on.
What was those two transfers for a -4, or was it free?
Those were free, yeah. Both of them.
I think they're good transfers for free. I think if you'd taken a -4, I would have held on to Sigurdsson maybe, but obviously then you couldn't have gotten Kevin De Bruyne or everything. I mean, we'll ask you this quick question before we let you go. Which players for you do you think everybody should be owning at the moment?
Oh, that's difficult. I think Sterling. I think Sterling is a very good. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Like there should be so much money in the midfield right now, and if you don't have Sterling, I think we will miss out on so much. And I'm also very on to Salah. Really, I really think you can't base Mane's performance on like the 2 matches he has had, and I think that Salah will perform very much better. I see so many reasons for keeping Salah.
I completely agree.
Yeah,
I agree with that. I think you need to be careful with Salah and Mane, because as a Liverpool fan, since Salah's come in, Mane has always looked like such a better player than Salah. Salah doesn't look like a world-class player that gets, Golden Boot 2 years in a row. He doesn't look like that when he plays, whereas Mane does. Mane has that sort of cutting edge, that clinicalness about him, and he takes his man on and he beats him, he looks skillful, whereas Salah just sort of somehow continues to get his goals. So I think you do have to be very careful. Personally, I think we should wait at least 3 or 4 weeks, or 2 or 3 weeks before you're confident in saying, okay, Mane's going to outperform Salah this year, because Salah just never passes the eye test like Mane does.
Aussie boy, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so Salah, he does the little things right, and that's what I think gets him the returns, because he does those little flick on passes that get assists, and he just makes the right runs. The way he plays isn't all flashy, whereas Mane is very flashy. He's got that slick skill about him. He goes through defenders elegantly, Whereas Salah, he just does. He's more of a smart player, where he does the right things at the right time, and that's what gets him the stats that get him the FPL points. And that's what makes him so good.
A couple of final thoughts, Norba. A couple of predictions. What are your thoughts on the Liverpool versus Arsenal game? Your score prediction on that?
Oh, I think there will be goals, and there might be both ways. But I think Klopp is disappointed with his defense. I think he needs to shape that up, and I think that will be his focus in front of the game. So hopefully Liverpool can keep his clean sheet. Obviously, I have double Liverpool midfield defense, and that's worrying me a bit. So I think it will be entertaining. I think Liverpool will absolutely smash Arsenal. I think there will be many Liverpool goals, but it will be goals both ways as well, I think. Yeah, but and can I just say, because we were talking about Haller, and you were saying that you should get him out because he hasn't performed. But Haller has actually been injured since the Man City game. But you can't expect him to get anything out of that.
But that's my concern, though, is when when you bring in a player, it could be any player, and they haven't played or whatever, it's just a wasted spot. Yeah,
but now he'll return from injury, and then he's just totally we haven't seen anything from Haller. So he's the same with Felipe Anderson. These are players that could be a pokey, because we don't know how they've performed yet, and there's just a big question mark with them. But they can really perform if they're the players that I think they are. They haven't had the time to show off yet.
I completely agree. I just, like I said, I'm just somebody that likes to play the game with players that actually play rather than potential. But one quick final question for you, Norbs. It's a very simple one. Who's your most likely captain going to be this weekend?
Sterling.
Right, thank you very much. Thank you so much for coming on live. I really appreciate that.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers, dude. There we are there, another Sterling. Here's me thinking that Sterling could be a differential. Admittedly, within the Elite FPL community mini league, it seems that he could be the most popular one. We'll try replays again. Replays will bring you live on air. I just want to say to we've got a lot of people watching this particular stream. I've even seen YouTube content creator JNO in the know. Thank you for joining us. And there's lots and lots of people joining us. If you are enjoying this stream, just simply hit that button and just to show the like button, just to show support. And if you haven't subscribed, just simply hit that subscribe button, because we will be bringing you daily, well, virtually daily content all the time. And just to let you guys know, there is a potential, a possibility that I will be doing a live stream from 4 o'clock on Saturday. So on Saturday at 4 o'clock, I could be doing a solo stream, and then towards about 6, 7-ish or something, maybe Jason could join in, and we'll work something out how to get us both on screen. I know Jason's the tech guy and everything. Also, for people watching this, obviously you are predominantly, most of you are going to be members of the Discord group. There is a poll for you guys to vote in regarding the transfers of your Elite FPL community team. So there is a poll. So in the left hand side menu of your screen, let's bring it up on screen now. There is a poll for you to decide which 2 free transfers you want to have regarding your Elite FPL community team. You voted to do 2 free transfers, and I'll bring it up on screen now. I mean, using a laptop on here drives me up the freaking wall. Nearly swore.
Steve-O, I've just got a message from Replay saying that he want me to tell you that he's fixed whatever the problem was.
Yeah, we are going to get him on. Don't panic. Don't panic. Don't worry. Thank you for that, Ozzy. So up on screen now is the polls for what we need you voting, but it looks pretty obvious to me that you are wanting to get rid of a midfielder, and the other free one is a striker. I know that for a fact. So what we're going to do is Jason is going to put up some polls later today regarding which midfielder of your 4 you want to get rid of, and which forward that you want to get rid of. So I can tell you now that the forwards in your Elite FPL community team are Wilson and Wesley. So it's a case of which one of them 2 you're going to get rid of. And then in your midfield, it's Salah, Sterling, Perez and Fraser. So it's a case of which midfielder you're going to want to get rid of out of them. And Jason will put up the polls later for you to vote in, and then we can decide which ones are going to get removed. And then when it comes to Wednesday, Thursday, you will be able to find out which players you guys want to bring in regarding your Elite FPL community team. So, like Aussie Boy just said, Replays is hopefully going to be available to come live on air. So, Replays, good afternoon, evening, whatever time it is in Australia.
Hello?
Hello there, welcome to the Elite FPL Breakfast Show. Are you tempted by a wildcard ahead of Gameweek 2?
No, I'm not. I think I'm doing alright.
And how well are you doing then?
Or not this week, but last week was okay. I got 88 points last week.
And this
and
week?
This week 46.
So you're doing
So average.
Well, I think you're doing better than average. You're doing actually very, very well. You're on the same lines of myself here. And so
Sorry, it's like...
have you already made some transfers ahead of Game Week 2?
No, not yet. I'm thinking of getting Pookie in though.
Right, okay. And who's your front line at the moment?
Sorry, it's really like you're always cutting out for me. I think it's my internet.
It's probably my end, to be honest with you. But I was just saying, who is your front line at the moment to bring in Pookie instead?
So I'm gonna get Pookie instead of Wilson. Wilson, sorry.
You're just going to do the basic transfer, a downgrade, and the rest of your team you're pretty happy with.
I'm probably gonna get Sigurdsson out and get De Bruyne in.
Oh, I didn't quite catch that. Sigurdsson, was that?
out for De Bruyne.
Yeah, that's about as template as you want to get there. I mean, you're confident Kevin De Bruyne tearing a Bournemouth a new one, so to speak.
Yeah,
And what
tore
your
up Tottenham.
and what are your thoughts on the Bournemouth versus Man City game? Have you got a prediction?
Oh, it's gonna be a high-scoring game, at least 3-0.
Oh, you think 3-0? Wow, a
Yeah, at
minimum of
least
3
minimum.
goals.
Yeah.
Wow. And have you actually got a plan on who you think you're going to captain this week?
Probably Sterling. Maybe I'm thinking Martial as a differential
Ooh.
captain.
Oh wow! Why Martial against Crystal Palace?
Yeah, they're not looking good defensively, and he's playing up front.
Wow. Okay. I mean, you say they're not looking good defensively. They've only conceded 1 goal, and that was against Sheffield United. They had a 0-0 versus Everton. They conceded, like I said, in a 1-0 defeat against Crystal Palace. You're confident that Man United are going to break through that back line and score quite a few goals?
Yeah, I'm hoping.
What score are you thinking of that game being?
Or I don't know, maybe 2-0. Maybe maybe Crystal Palace might score. I'm not sure.
Not confident in United's back line then?
They did look like Harry Maguire and Wan-Bissaka. They're doing really well. But then Luke Shaw, I think Lindelof sort of bringing down the back line.
Did you watch the game last night or this morning?
Yeah, sort of. I guess the second half, Wolves are doing really well. I don't think Luke Shaw could stop Traore.
And how did Man United look in that game?
Wait, sorry, you lags? I couldn't hear.
I was just wondering, how, in your opinion, how did Man United look to make you feel confident ahead of Saturday?
Oh, it's wait, what did you say? Sorry.
I was just saying that, in your opinion, how do you feel Man United looked? Do you think they looked good enough to be scoring plenty of goals versus Crystal Palace?
I think in the first half they were creating chances, and Martial was looking alright, and that you said finish, that was a really good shot and good finish.
Yeah, no, that's
Clinical.
I'm getting nagged, so I have to go.
Okay, no problem at all. Cheers, Aussie boy. Thank you for your time.
Thanks for having me on again.
Cheers, dude.
Exactly.
Thank you. There's Aussie boy there. I'll just quickly finally ask you this question: your thoughts on Liverpool versus Arsenal. What do you think the score will be?
Oh, I'm hoping Liverpool absolutely smash Arsenal. I don't know, I just hate Arsenal. I don't like them.
Why is that?
But it'll be a close game. It will be a close game.
Why aren't you a fan of Arsenal?
Because I'm a Chelsea fan, and they just annoy me.
And
they just annoy me.
Just of interest, why are you a Chelsea fan?
I don't know, because I just have been going since I was younger. I always went for Chelsea.
Brilliant. That's it. Replays. How did you find out about this particular stream? I don't recognise the name, so I'd be interested to hear about how you found out about it.
I know. So I was just looking at FPL tips, and I came across your streams, and I just started watching the replays and stuff.
Hence the name. That's absolutely fantastic. Really appreciate the support, Replays, and hopefully get you on another time.
Yeah, thanks heaps.
Cheers.
Thanks for the help.
No, thank you. There's Replays there as before. FPL Boona has just joined us in the on air live. Good morning, FPL Boona. We're talking about wildcards this morning, and you must be pretty happy that quite a lot of people are hitting that wildcard button.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't bother me actually that much whether they're hitting it or not. I think, I know that there's been a lot of people saying that it wasn't necessary and stuff, but I'm quite happy with how the wild card's looking, personally.
Are there, we asked you last night, we'll ask you quickly again, are any key players in your team that you are definitely not getting rid of?
Who have I not got rid of? That's a tough question. The only player I think of, off the top of my head, I've not got rid of, key player, is Sterling. I didn't have De Bruyne, so I couldn't have got rid of him, but he's on my wild card.
What were your thoughts on Statman, knowing that he's hit the wild card and you're in that little mini club together in the Elite FPL Challenge Mini League?
Yeah, me, Statman, and Phil as well. We've got our own little clique going, and we're gonna take the league by storm.
Yeah, I mean,
Stormtroopers.
We're asking ahead of Game Week 2. Now I know that we're all going to be doing our predictions on Thursday and everything, but your thoughts on number one, the Liverpool Arsenal game, but firstly, Bournemouth versus Man City.
I think it's gonna. Don't ask me why. I like my history. I think it might be a little bit tighter than we think. Like if we look at it last year, it was 1-0 to City, but it was all City, and it was quite a tough game. So I think it's going to be a tough game. I'm tempted to captain a Spurs asset, whichever one I get.
Talking of which, I mean, Matthew Zadroff is saying that basically he's going to laugh so hard if Son only plays 20 minutes. I mean, I'm going to ask you straight away, are you confident that Son starts on Saturday?
100%. It's not like he's coming back from an ACL injury. Played all of pre-season, and it would be like Pochettino dropping Kane. He just wouldn't. He's that essential to us, and we've lacked that attacking threat. So he's 100% back, and I'd be incredibly surprised if he wasn't.
Obviously, you joined us live last night during the Wolves-Man United game. We've had a bit of reflection on it and everything. Your thoughts on Man United assets? Obviously, Jason was bigging up Rashford, Martial, David De Gea. Your thoughts on Man United assets?
They look good in the first half. Similarly to Chelsea in the first half against Leicester. Second half, obviously, both Norwich and Norwich and Wolves were obviously 1-0 down, and there was a comeback, and both United and Chelsea in those games just didn't look as good in the second half. But Martial in particular stood out to me. He played very well. He surprised me because this is the sort of game which I had him marked down as he would go missing, and he didn't really. I didn't feel.
I mean,
defensively, they would have kept a clean sheet. Like Jason said last night, that was a world-class finish, and there would be no saving that. But apart from that, United defended very well. So I wouldn't be, Wan-Bissaka's on my wild card, and that's nailed on. Like, he's an unreal defender, and I think United will definitely be clean sheet.
Wow, that's very interesting. So you're actually confident in owning Wan-Bissaka. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on Keyboy bringing in Emerson ahead of this particular game week?
He's ahead of the curve. Emerson's looked very good this season. I just can't, with my current 4-5-1 structure, I can't afford to bring him in. But he's one to consider, most definitely.
I love that, Benamit. I love that. Like I said, I think, honestly, the fixtures that he's had, where he's played against United, Liverpool, he just looks so good to me. He looks like such an attacking player. On another day, he's hit the post twice. He'd already have 2 goals at this point, and everyone would be going, he's a must-have, and you need to get him in, he's a must-have, I think, I don't want to talk, myself up, but I think I'm a bit ahead of the curve on it. The fixtures are so good.
His first task he'll complete, like a mission on Call of Duty this weekend, and stop Pookie scoring. 100% he'll do so.
Well, let's hope that's the case. I'm a bit mindful of the time, everybody, so this stream is going to be cut short. Like I said, I'm doing it in a different room today, and I'm a bit mindful that my housemates may be coming out soon. So we are going to be ending the stream soon, but don't worry, Philip, you are going to be coming live on air now. So, Philip, don't recognise the name. It looks like you're brand new. Hello there, Philip.
Hello.
Hello, Philip there. Whereabouts are you calling us from?
What did you say?
I was just wondering where you're calling us from.
I'm calling from Norway.
Oh wow, another Norwegian. We seem to have a lot of Norwegian fans out there. We're talking about wildcards and transfers and everything. What have you done specifically ahead of Game Week 2?
I'm not taking wildcard this round. I'm taking maybe the next round after that.
So you've got a plan already using your wildcard in Game Week 4?
Yeah.
And how well have you done so far this season? How many points have you got total?
I have 119.
119 points. Okay, so you started off okay. Are there any fires that you feel like are in your team that you want to be putting out?
No, it's the normal. It's Sterling, Digne, and Salah.
Okay. So are you planning on making any transfers this particular game week?
Yeah, maybe get in Martial and Barnes,
Okay, and who would they be for?
Jota and Sigurdsson.
Oh yeah, I mean I would probably highly recommend. I mean, Statman, we haven't heard from you from a while.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on those two transfers?
Yeah, I agree with you, Steve. Sound perfectly timed. Definitely.
Although,
it's not often you hear transfers and just think 100% go for it, but yeah, I agree.
just a quick question, Philip. Who are you thinking of captaining this game week?
Maybe Sterling.
Right, okay, I'm not even going to ask that question anymore. I will ask you this question though: Liverpool versus Arsenal. What's your prediction on that particular game?
4-1.
4-1 to Arsenal. Brilliant. I mean, and your thoughts on your prediction versus Bournemouth versus Man City?
I think 3-0 to Manchester City.
All right, okay. So, despite the fact that you're predicting Liverpool to win 4-1, you're putting your faith into a Sterling captaincy. Why is that?
Because he's performing so well.
And you think that maybe the goals will be spread across Liverpool more?
Yeah.
We've been talking about Mane. Have you not thought about swapping out Mane?
No, I got Salah.
Yeah. Have you not thought about swapping out Salah for Mane? Has that ever crossed your mind?
Yeah. Yes, I think about it, but I think Salah will perform same goals that Mane, so it's just a little patient.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. Philip, just one final question, really. You're brand new to this, I think, and how did you find out about the stream?
Some of my friends talked about you, and I just checked you out.
Oh wow! And how long have you been with us for?
Probably a week.
Oh, so not long then. Yeah. All I would recommend is that stay with us because we are creating one hell of a story here, and it's only game week 2. So enjoy it, my friend.
Yeah.
Cheers, Philip. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye. There we are there. Philip, all the way from Norway, recommended to us by his friends. That's great to hear. That's it's the classic thing of if you do enjoy the stream and you know friends of yours do enjoy fantasy football, YouTube content creations or whatever, just recommend us to them because all we do is live stream. I am going to end the stream here. I know it's only been a couple of hours, but I am wary of the time and everything, and I'm going to start with you, Keyboy. Thank you for joining us on for basically the whole show. Have you got any final thoughts ahead of game week 2, my friend?
Oh, not so much a final thought, but I'd like to ask you a quick question before you wrap up.
Okay.
So just talking before about fires to put out, right? That's your team on the screen, isn't it?
No, yes, it is. Yes, sorry.
Alright, okay, well, that was going to ruin my question there. So, obviously looking at Wesley, Perez, Sigurdsson and Fraser, they've all blanked, haven't they, right? They've all blanked the last 2 weeks.
Sorry, I have to interrupt here. So a friend of mine has sent in a wonderful comment. Urban Fly TV, you're a git. I know who you are. In fact, I'm just going to name you Marlon from work. You're a git. But if that is really Julie, hello Julie. Keyboy, I apologise for that interruption there. Go ahead with your
No, you're right. Yeah, just Perez, Sigurdsson, Fraser and Wesley, they've all blanked the last 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. And now I know you want to keep your cards close to your chest, so you don't want to reveal anything until Thursday, but what I would like to ask you is, out of those 4, are there any that you feel particularly have been unlucky, or are you just frustrated with which ones of them?
Wesley certainly he can clear right off. I can't stand him. I mean, I'm not gonna have a go. I'm not gonna have a go at Statman, but Statman was the one that was bigging him up through pre-season. I fell for that bandwagon, and I went against my own advice by bringing in a player from a promoted team, and I've done it. And he's really disappointed me. He had one game to prove himself, which was against Bournemouth. He couldn't do anything. Although, am I right in saying that he did have a penalty shout ruled out because of VAR?
Couldn't tell you.
Okay, Boona, do you know?
Who, Wesley?
Yes.
I'm not sure, but I thought weren't people saying that he was due to be on penalties? Because Aston Villa did get a penalty, but Douglas Ruiz took it.
Oh, did he?
Really? I don't know if anybody in chat can...
They...
My understanding was that Aston Villa were given a penalty, but it was ruled out because of VAR.
Oh, sorry. No, ignore me. What am I talking about? He scored a 40-yard belter.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, ignore me there. But, yeah.
Okay.
It's too early. Sorry, Stephen.
No, that's fine. So, yeah, Wesley is certainly... I want to get rid of ASAP. I tell you what, I've missed out on 0.1 now. Gilbert, he's gone down by 0.1 last night, so he's now down to 4.5. I'm very disappointed that he hasn't started any matches for Villa. In fact, I'm very disappointed, considering that they brought him in for a considerable amount of money. He played a lot of pre-season. He looked really threatening, and then he just hasn't played a single minute. Forget his name now, the Aston Villa manager, but is he sticking to the team that did so well in the Championship? Who knows? Regarding Sigurdsson and Perez... Oh, God, I mean, Perez, it sounds like he's paying terribly. So maybe that's been a real-life transfer which has gone wrong for Leicester. Who knows? But I'm very disappointed in him. Sigurdsson, he's been looking lively. I know Dan Bull is there in chat now. He did say that Sigurdsson has been providing a lot for the front guys of Everton, but they just haven't been able to put their goals away, so a bit unlucky there. Maybe I'll stick with him, who knows. And then Fraser, a complete waste of space. I'm going to end it on that note. Fraser just a complete... I'll let you know now, Fraser is definitely gone. So of those four, Fraser is an absolute definite. He's just cleared off. I cannot stand him. He had 2 games to get me a minimum of an assist. He did absolutely nothing, so he can clear right off. Keyboy, any final thoughts before we let you go, my friend?
Nah, not really. Just, I guess, make sure you give me a shout out when Emerson scores in the weekend. That's about it, really.
Brilliant, Keyboy. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, boys. See you later.
There's Keyboy, one of our regulars when we do the Southern Hemisphere morning streams. But Statman, any final thoughts from you ahead of game week 3?
Can I ask Boona a question direct? Yes. Just a short one, maybe a one-word answer.
Carry on, mate.
You're on a wild card, Boona. In all honesty, if you had the money to fit in Son and Kane, combined with Martial and Rashford, etc., but you could fit them all in, funds weren't a problem. Who would you be backing this weekend against Newcastle? Son or Kane? And you too, Steve-O?
That's a question, that is. Kane. Just because... although I say Son is 100% nailed, Kane is 200% nailed, so Kane.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I certainly think that get on Kane if you can. My only concern is, again, based on what the community tell us, and more importantly, what our resident Tottenham fan, FPL Boona, who's live now, told us last night. At the end of the day, Son is basically a striker, and if Boona thinks that he's going to start on Saturday or Sunday, I think that you either take a risk in possibly Son not starting and Kane goes and does well against your guys, or you go with the risk-free Kane for definite starting. But I certainly would be considering having Son immediately.
Oh, cheers for that. That'll give us some food for thought
Well,
on me tinkering over the next few days.
Well, yeah, all I can say, Statman, is you've got 3 days before the deadline, and it'll be great to see what your team is.
Cool.
Thank you, Stat. In fact, if I'm honest with you, again, this is completely off the top of my head. Please do not quote me on this. There is a possibility.
Potentiability. I love that.
Potentiability. Like, someone
I'm
get that on
putting
a
that on my
t-shirt
next
now.
t-shirt.
There's a
Potentiability.
There's a possibility that I may even do a live stream on Friday evening, reacting live to everybody's teams. Because I think
That'd
it's
be
a
brilliant.
very, very important game week, this particular one, because of the diversity in captaincies, although everybody seems to be going with Sterling as captain, but certainly with people like yourself, Statman, Boona, and various others that have wildcarded, it'll be fascinating to see what your teams are. Statman, any final thoughts before we let you go?
Nah, mate, I'll let you get off. Just thanks for doing the old Aussie, Kiwi, Asia friendly time streams, mate. Appreciate it. And look forward to the next one.
Cheers, dude. Take it easy. See you soon.
Catch you later. Cheers.
There we are. There's Statman. And Boona, just like with you, have you any final thoughts before we end this stream, my friend?
Nothing to do with Game Week 3, but just on the off chance anyone watching right now isn't in Discord, I believe the link's in the description, is it, Steve-O?
Yeah,
if it is, get involved in Discord, because the show does not stop here. Most of us, we sometimes get 10, 15 of us on a daily basis in our hangouts, literally speaking to each other about FPL, so if that's your cup of tea, come and get involved.
Absolutely. Boona, thank you so much for joining us, and good luck with your wildcard selections. There's FPL Boona there, one of our regular, in fact he's one of our moderators, he's a very close friend of the show, he's been there since the beginning, and just like he said just now, get involved in that Discord if you like talking all things fantasy football and you want to be speaking to people with, well, let's be honest here, you're basically doing a live stream with the guys in Discord. You heard Keyboy today, you heard Statman, you heard Aussie Boy, all live with me today, just talking all things fantasy football, and we have some wonderful, wonderful conversations and debate. I have just seen that former co-host and now manager, yes, that's right, manager of our Instagram page, Dan Bull, is thinking of doing the wildcard. Well, a wildcard already for Dan. In fact, you know what, out of respect to him, I will bring up his team on screen, and it'll be interesting to see if you guys think that Dan should wildcard this team. For me personally, there are a few fires that he needs to put out in his particular team. So up on screen now is former co-host Dan's team. We've already mentioned about Glenn Murray. So Dan's team, for people listening in on audio, is Nick Pope in goal, Alexander Arnold, Dina Zinchenko. We've then got Salah, McGinn, Sigurdsson and Sterling, and then a front three, so it's a 3-4-3, a front three of Murray, Wilson and Jota. Well, I don't think this is a wildcard team. I think that for a -4, getting rid of Murray and Jota, possibly. But barring that, I don't think there's any issues per se with this team. It's just really Murray and Jota, so I wouldn't actually hit the wild card myself. Certainly your back three and midfield is virtually what everybody's got anyway. At the end of the day, mate, you are a rival. So you do whatever you feels best regarding your team, but my advice is just stand firm. And if you are desperate to get rid of anybody, I would say get rid of Glenn Murray off the top of my head. You know, you've got Jota, who's up against Burnley next. That is going to be a tough game, no matter what. And apparently Jota was pretty anonymous last night. Of course, they are playing in Europe this Thursday evening, I'm pretty sure. I think it's against Torino. Am I right in saying it's Torino that they got in the draw? Again, ironically, that's who... Burnley got Olympiacos last time, but you know we're now at the stages of the Europa League elimination games where you're playing your proper teams now, not your, no disrespect, but your pub teams. Let's be honest here. So yeah, maybe Wolves could be in for a bit of a tougher test, and we'll see what they're all about. But no, other than that, I think I'm going to call it a morning. I think we have, I mean, I always say this, I can never believe how long I go for, because it feels like 5 minutes, if I'm honest with you, and it doesn't feel like the 2 hours that we've been doing it for. There's been some absolutely great content being given to us, provided by the callers. Like I said, much appreciated for basically co-hosting with myself, Keyboy, Statman and Aussie Boy. Very, very grateful for you to participate in this particular stream. Ishmael Maya is asking what time are the price updates occurring. We're talking 2-3 o'clock in the morning, English time. FPL Boona, we all know you don't want to go. I don't want to go, but I have to, because I'm in the living room and I don't want to be holding out, because I know that my housemate is going to be waking up soon, and he usually uses in here, but you don't need to know any of this. So yeah, I'm going to go through with the admin, and let's finish it there really. So as per usual, if you've enjoyed this Elite FPL breakfast morning show, we will get that title right one day. The Elite FPL breakfast morning show, simply just hit that like button. That is the biggest way you can show myself and Jason your support. Okay, the easiest way to show your support for the Elite FPL podcast is by simply hitting the like button on our live streams. As per normal, if you do enjoy the podcast and you haven't hit that subscribe button, just simply hit the subscribe button. We are closing in on the 2,000 sub mark, which is absolutely crazy, to be honest with you. But simply hit that subscribe button. Like I said, we are virtually a daily FPL talk show, to be honest with you. You've seen what we're talking about. We talk about all manner of subjects regarding fantasy football. There's always different subjects to cover. Today's subject was, of course, the wild card. And of course, who you're going to captain, let's be honest here, Sterling. But yeah, we've got a lot of content to be bringing you. Like I said, Thursday, get in your diary that it's myself and Jason doing our Game Week 2 prediction. Game Week 3 predictions ahead of this weekend. Like I said, there may be a chance that I do a spontaneous stream on Friday. There's a chance that I may be doing a stream on Friday, reacting live to the game as it's updated, looking over the particular players' wildcards, i.e. Statman and FPL Boona, and anybody else that's done their wildcards. It'd be fascinating to see who you've brought in for your team. So yeah, Friday evening there's a high chance that will happen. It may even be with Jason. I'll need to speak to Jason. I'm sure Jason would love to do it as well. And obviously we've got the Aston Villa versus Everton game, so it may even tie in with that. Who knows? But yeah, I'll speak to Jason about that. But certainly I think we're going to be doing a stream on Friday evening. Saturday, again, there is a relatively high chance that I'll be doing a stream at approximately 4 o'clock. But then again, I know that Jason does enjoy doing his streams on the morning. So I'm wondering maybe Jason may do it. But then again, he normally does it because of the deadline. So potentially, actually, he may not do one. So I may just do one at approximately 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Then that will tie us in with the call-in show. And I'm sure we can work around something, how we can get both of us on screen. But again, I'll speak to Jason all about this. Again, just to make this point very, very clear indeed, if you want to have your say regarding the Elite FPL community team, you're choosing 2 free transfers to make this particular game week. To be honest with you, it's looking like you're wanting to get rid of a midfielder and a striker. Those polls will close very, very soon, and Jason will have up 2 new polls as to which particular players you want to get rid of. In other words, do you want to get rid of, in the forward position, Wesley or Wilson, and then in the midfield positions, do you want to get rid of either Perez, Salah, Fraser or Sterling? That's about as simple as it gets, really. And then we'll find out which players you want to transfer in on Thursday. Other than that, follow us on Twitter at Elite FPL. Follow us on Instagram. Like I said, it's now managed by former co-host Dan Ball. He is now taking charge of the Instagram page, so please get in contact with him through that if you want to collaborate with us or something like that. Regarding Instagram, he's going to be dealing with all that now. So that's all exciting times, as I say. So yeah, we are now active on Instagram. As ever, as FPL Boone has just been saying, get in that Discord, talk all things fantasy football. More importantly, you get to speak to people well, not in person, but you know what I mean. One-to-one chat, talking all things fantasy football. Any other admin? I can't think of anything other than that. What I can say is thank you so much for joining me. Truly mean this. Really, really appreciate the support. I'm not going to lie. The channel is growing at a real quick pace now, and you may have noticed that myself and Jason aren't as active reading out the comments in chat. We do read them. I have got the live chat up in front of me. We do read comments and we do try to answer the more important questions or ones that we feel necessary to answer. But at the end of the day, when you've got nearly over 100 people watching and it's just constant communication, it's very, very difficult to be answering questions left, right and centre. And the fact that we are now having this call-in, we are focusing our attention on getting on as many people calling in as possible. And like I said, the only way you can do that is being part of the Discord. And that way you can have your say. You can actually express yourselves a lot more, as you've heard through the various callers that we've had today, and they've been absolutely fantastic from all countries across the world. It's been absolutely superb. And yeah, like I said, I think, like you guys keep banging on about, you can't believe, we had one of our regulars from last season, Jack Gleason, couldn't believe how big we've grown over the last 9 months or whatever, and it's amazing. It's amazing that you guys are spreading the word. We had I've forgotten his name already, but we had the individual on just a minute ago from Norway saying how Philip that said how he was recommended by friends of his to get and watch our live streams and everything. And these live streams aren't 10 minutes long. They're not an hour long. They're not even an hour and a half. They're not even 2 hours. We're talking 2.5, 3 hours long. We did one Liverpool versus Norwich Gameweek 1, went on for nearly 6 hours. That's the kind of dedication myself and Jason are putting in to basically show you guys the support to you. And I can assure you now, me and Jason are very, very grateful. As much as our rivalry is very bitter towards each other, we do get on very, very well, and we do have a lot of ideas pushing forward with this particular podcast, because it, like I said, it is just growing and growing by the day, and it's just absolutely thanks to you guys and helping us out. Anyhow, after the Queen's speech, I'm going to end it there. So thank you so much, FPL Booner, with a wonderful what's the potentiality of you going on for another hour? Well, I've gone on for a further 10 minutes after saying I'd end the stream, so that's at least another 50 minutes. But no, I'm ending it there. I need to eat food. I want to go, I say back to the gym. I only did cardio this morning, and even then that was only for 20 minutes. Because why? Why did I do it for 20 minutes? Because to be honest with you, I was just so enthused about getting home and doing a live stream for you guys. Anyhow, let's end it there. Thank you so much for watching, and no, it's not McDonald's. If you're somebody that lives in London and you know the bakery Wenzel's, that's Wenzel's, Wenzel's, they're a wonderful bakery and delicious. Absolutely, just pack it full of chicken. Anyway, I'm ending it there. Have a good day, everybody, and see you soon.